evening, my fellow cuckoo enthusiasts. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Tonight, I'm going to teach you a couple cheese hors d'oeuvres that you can do. As I mentioned a couple weeks ago, this is all leading up to teaching everybody how to make a fancy wine and cheese plate. It's something I've done for a few years now, and my mother learned from her mother, her grandmother. So we've been doing it for a while, and I've done a few twists on it as I've grown older. And I'll talk more about the actual laying out of the cheese plate next week. Tonight, we're going to talk about Bocconcini and Asian pear toothpicks as one recipe, and grilled French bread and goat cheese spread as a second recipe. Now, both of these recipes come to me from my friend Glenn Carteret. He's a chef. So him and I worked together, hashed out for a few minutes in the middle of Walmart's produce section, different ways we can put cheese together. And these work really well. Depending on your audience, depends on how you want your cheese spread going. So this one allows you to pick up and eat immediately to put on plate. So this all leads from the fruit salad I showed you 2 weeks ago and to the cheddar cheese hors d'oeuvre I'm going to show you next week, along with how to plate and the types of wines to match with each type of cheese. I'm also going to give you more of the information on how to make the flavors mesh together then. So bear with me, this is a long process-ish, only because of Facebook's limits. You don't want an hour-long video explaining every minute detail because, well, I don't know about you, but my attention span is about 15-20 minutes. And that's when something really catches my eye. So, without further ado, let's jump in and start having fun. Now, first thing, this isn't a French loaf. This is a hot dog bun. I went to the grocery store, and I didn't like the French loaves. They were dried out. They were hard. You don't want that. If I can use it to take a French loaf and play sword fighting, or use it as building materials, it's too old, it's too stale, it's not good. So, we're using hamburger buns instead because they're soft, they're moist, and for a quick demonstration, they're going to work just fine. Pop them in your oven. This is the only time, or one of the few times, I'm going to be operating my oven at 300. It doesn't work fast enough at 300 for my taste, so I don't use it at 300 very often. But that's going to grill the bread nicely. So I have the grill lines, and I want those lines for when I'm doing the goat cheese spread. Now, the first hors d'oeuvre, cheese hors d'oeuvre, is the Bocconcini Asian pear toothpicks. And you need, obviously, an Asian pear. And a lemon. And mint. With Bocconcini cheese. Now, you remember from a video I did a while back in April that was very similar. It was a caprese salad that was done on toothpicks. So we're going to reuse the toothpicks, well, use the rest of the package of toothpicks. You get my point. And I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, changes I would make to the fruit salad so that all flavors mesh together is instead of using cilantro, I would use mint. I still would hold off using the pomegranates when you are putting the fruit salad in the center of this cheese board because my goat cheese, yes, it's prepackaged, yes, I'm cheap, yes, I'm lazy, has cranberries in it. It's going to have enough fruit. You don't want to complicate and add more flavors. So, Asian pears, love them. You cut them exactly like you do traditional pears. See that part in the center? That's what you have a bird's beak for. See? Just like 2 weeks ago, I used the bird's beak to cut out the core. It's quick, it's simple, without mess. Now, if you ever have any suggestions and want me to show how to do different recipes, I'm more than happy to take suggestions and ideas, but you're going to have to put in the comments section. I read all the comments, I get notifications of all the comments, so I'm happy to read them and pay attention to them. Now, Asian pear is a very mild flavor. It's very, very light, so it's very easy to overpower. Now, I'm going to cut these again, slice them in half yet again, lengthwise, and then in half widthwise. When you're cutting, skin up, like this. Gives you control. Now comes the lemon. You want to cut wedges. So to do that, first you have to cut the lemon in half. You're not seeing my cutting board. There is no way you can see my cutting board. Sorry guys, give me a second. Better? Can you see my cutting board now? Okay. Now, these are small wedges that you want to make with the lemon. So, what you do is you cut a slice off your lemon and you grab your bird's beak again. Thank goodness for paper towels, because you can just wipe off your blade. Now, see each of these sections? That's what you're cutting. And you're cutting off the rind as well. See, a bird's beak gives you that control that a larger paring knife does not give you. Now I have the section. I want 4 sections. There you go. Now, mint. I just grabbed 10 leaves, 5, 6 leaves, it's okay. You don't want a whole bunch of leaves when it comes to the mint. So, take 1 leaf, and you do that. Thread it onto the toothpick. Then, comes a slice of Asian pear, which I'm going to shrink even further. Little bit of lemon. And the Bocconcini. Just like that. Now, if you want to get fancy and there's not enough flavor, you can dribble a little bit of glaze on to the Bocconcini. It will stay put, it will add that little bit of flavor, but it's really not necessary. You want the glaze, not the vinegar itself. All you need is a drop, because the vinegar is going to run. The glaze is going to stick. So, these are your two styles. The mint helps to cleanse the palate between each different dish. This would be your starting cheese, incidentally. So there you go. That's the Bocconcini Asian pear toothpick. Now, remember I put the hot dog buns in the oven to grill a bit? Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And you'll see I'm holding them with the fork, a stove fork. I don't want my fingers anywhere near there. That's hot. Trust me on that one. It's hot. So, bread knife. We're going to want these in squares about 1 inch. Now, if this was real French bread, I'd be cutting it at an angle. It's not. So I can cut it square. Just like that. Now, this is one of the reasons I really like Cutco spreader. You see that edge? It cuts everything, including packaging. See? Cuts packaging, which allows me to do this. Now, I can leave it like this, the goat cheese just like that, on the board, so everyone can spread it as they like. But because it has cranberries, I wasn't going to add anything else to it. If you're going with a mild plain goat cheese, then go ahead. This is where you'd add fruit salsa on top of the French loaf and the goat cheese. You still can. Just remember, not too much stuff, or it doesn't stick to your plate. You want softened cheese, which meant I should have had it out for a few more hours than I had, like say 2. But goat cheese has a very, I wouldn't say strong flavor. It's a little stronger than Bocconcini, but it's not as strong as cheddar or blue cheese. So, first 2 dishes, first 2 cheeses that you're going to have on your cheese plate. Next week I will tell you what wines to pair them with, and have a good time. Now, if you have any questions about this recipe or any of the recipes or the knives or anything that I use on this channel, on this live broadcast, feel free to message me. You can contact me on Facebook at Sarah Rose von Tettenborn or Sarah von Tettenborn Cutco Independent Sales Rep. So both of those are spelled SARAHVON space TETTEN B as in Bob ORN. Cutco is capital CUTCO. You can contact me on Pinterest and Instagram using Sarah Rose von Tettenborn. And if you're tired, your fingers are tired of texting, you can always just give me a call or send me a text at 403-392-1788. Now, this video is going to go live on YouTube at Chop Chop the Friendly Canadian tomorrow morning after Facebook does their nice friendly work and archives my video for me. And it will be posted across on both Facebook pages. Well, 3 Facebook pages, because tonight you get the Chop Chop Kindly Canadian Facebook, but the business and personal page, Sarah Rose von Tettenborn, will go up tomorrow morning as well. So, have a good night, enjoy, and I hope to see you next week. Bye.